Hi there, and welcome to week 2. Hopefully you're finishing up your homework number 1, if you haven't yet, on equations and inequalities. And this kind of flows because after you learn equations, then we say, well, instead of solving for variables with y equals, then we get into functions where you put something in and you get something out. So the function does something like, I give the example here, you give somebody medication as an input and you hope the output is that they actually feel better, right? And so when you get through the second homework, the functions and graphs, and I do mention a lot of students struggle with the graphing just because it's kind of tedious of how the lab wants you to do it. Let me know if you have any problems on that. But once you finish your homework number 2, and I try to get it finished fairly early in the week, that way you can get ready for your test. You got a test. So your very first test is going to cover chapters 1 and 2. I'm going to show you here in a second that you're going to see you're going to have to go through Blackboard to get the password. So you're going to go through a identification program to get the password, but it's still back in the lab. So just write the password down and then go back to your My Math lab and you'll be ready to take the test. This test is timed. You only get one chance. All right, so don't have people running around going crazy around the house when you do it. Be all by yourself. Nobody bother you. Put a note on the door, taking a test. You got 2 hours to take it. And like I said, you only get one chance, so take your time. 2 hours should be fine by taking your time. And so notice I said you have 2 hours, so you don't want to start it at Sunday at 11 p.m. I would start it no later, and this is really putting it off, at 9 p.m. on Sunday, because that way it gives you a chance if something goes wrong, the internet's down, you can't get logged in, right? I try to start a lot earlier than that, but that gives you time. You're also going to see in the lab there is a practice test. What I do with these is, and you can work it as many times as you want, but yes, it restarts it every time. If you get 100% correct, then I add 10 points to your test. If you get 98% correct, then I add 9 points. So in other words, it's a percentage, and I just drop off the second number. It's a percentage point to give you extra credit. The extra credit's great, but if you would work the practice test, you'll see your grade's going to be higher anyway, because I make the test by pulling problems off the practice test. Let me also mention within Blackboard, I have some formula sheets that might help you a little quicker to take the test instead of having to flip through a bunch of notes. But whatever you need, have everything set and ready. So when you come into Blackboard, you're going to go into the lessons, and then you will go into test 1 information, and you'll see here are my formula sheets to help you with the test. I put them both in PDF and in Word because sometimes people with Macs can't get the Word formulas to show up. And then as I mentioned here, this is just a link that will take you to the lab for the practice test. And here is the biosignature authentication tool. So you'll click on this and it'll walk you through a bunch of steps, and when you finish and everything's validated okay, it'll bring you back here, and right below this you will see the password to the test. It is case sensitive. Don't put space if there's not spaces, so be sure you get all that. I would probably go ahead and try to get the password pretty early, so if you have any problems with that, you have time to contact me as well. So this week you're going to complete your homework number 2, hopefully early in the week. I'd say no later than Thursday, and then that'll give you Friday, Saturday to work on the practice test, and then Sunday to finish your test. As always, have a wonderful week and good luck on your test. I hope you all make a very good grade. I'll be looking to see how those grades are coming out, but contact me if you have any questions.